What's up, travelers? You have found the podcast that is here to explore the world. We are 5 travel experts, hooked on our trade, and ready to share our tales from around the world. You're listening to the Where We Roam podcast. Without further ado, let's roam. Hello, roamers, and welcome to this week's episode of the Where We Roam podcast. My name is John, and I am joined by all of my fellow podcasters. What is going on, everybody?
Hello, John.
What's going on,
So
man?
good to see you all.
It's good to see you too.
Good to be
Yeah,
back.
awesome. So, well, today on this episode, we're going to be continuing our, I think this might be my favorite series that we're doing right now.
Yeah,
And
it's
that
fun.
is our theme park, we're calling it theme park overview or strategy. I don't remember what guide, theme park guide.
It's a kind of a guide,
Yeah,
but
kind of a guide, kind of an overview, kind of a review. We talk about what we like, what we don't like. We give you our 1-minute strategy at the very end, like what we would do if we were booking this trip ourselves.
and
or
it never
for our
comes in
clients.
at a minute. We're always
No, it's
over.
usually like a minute and 30, but we try
Yeah.
our best. We do our very, very
It's a
best.
lot of
get a little
information.
excited.
It's a lot of
say.
information to put in a minute.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot to do. I mean, it cuts it down a little bit for TikTok and whatnot. Although like pauses gets cut out and it's still over a minute, but it's fine.
Mhm.
Anyway, so today we're going to be continuing the series, and we are talking about Animal Kingdom Park at Walt Disney World. I love this park. This is my favorite chill park.
It is.
It's not
It
my favorite
is-
park, but it's great.
such
to
a chill park. It's a good 3/4 day park, in my opinion. Maybe more if you're adding some of the tours in that we'll chat through. But this is a great resort to go to for, until 3-4 o'clock, and then duck out to your hotel or jump over to Epcot, something like that. It's definitely not a skippable park, in my opinion.
No.
Though.
It's a good
I think you
mid
could do a full
vacation.
day.
Yeah, but
I
I think
don't-
it's
I
good
don't-
like mid trip.
If you did all the things, I think it could. I mean, you can
Yeah.
definitely make it a full day. For
Oh,
We
yeah.
sure,
go
but-
so often that, like, for us, we're like, okay, I'm not walking every single
Bit of this. It's huge.
path,
Animal
right?
trail,
Like
yeah.
every trail they have,
But I
every
think
single trip I go. But
Dana's
if
right.
this is your first trip, there's a lot.
And
Yeah.
this is a good mid trip park.
100%.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, there's
Oh,
more
yeah, so we're-
shade too, so it's cooler as well. It's not as hot as some of
Mhm.
the other parks. I feel
Yeah.
like.
We never. Oh, I don't know. To me, it feels
I
humid.
disagree with that.
Yeah, I think it's the
Well,
most humid park.
yeah.
All the
It
No,
is.
vegetation.
Hollywood
makes
It
it
is
feel humid.
Studios
Florida.
is the worst park. Hollywood
Hollywood
Studios
Studios.
is so
Well, that's
hot.
because of the
Yeah. There's
crowds.
no shade.
Everybody's on top of
Yeah,
you.
there
It's
is
Toy
some
Story
shade.
Land.
narrow.
Oh,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no shade over there.
so hot.
That's
No.
really bad. I'd agree with that. So, all right, we're going to start off at the top like we always do it with the top must-do attractions. And I am going to let Megan kick us off with the first one. I love this ride. I don't know if it's my top, but it's first on our list. So what do you think, Megan? Take us away.
It is. I agree. It is definitely one of my favorite rides as well, and it's Expedition Everest. So this is a roller coaster over at Animal Kingdom. I don't want to give everything away because there is a little twist to it, which is really fun.
Mhm.
But it's definitely in my top 2 for Animal Kingdom for sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
good
yeah.
storytelling
100%.
with this ride.
Ooh,
Yeah.
top 3 for me.
Yes.
I don't know
Yeah.
if it. I think it's number 3 for me, but we'll talk about the
Okay.
others in a minute. This is a fun one for thrill seekers.
Mhm.
I think, what is the height on this? 48 or 44?
Oh,
It's one of the
it's
taller
not-
ones.
It's
I
not
think it's
48 because my daughter's
44.
done it when she was below 40.
So
So
44.
probably
Interesting.
44.
Probably
Oh, you're-
42.
yeah.
44.
I think 48, the only ones are Tron and Rock and Roller Coaster.
We just
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just went in March, and there were some little kids on this thing. So
Okay.
I'd be
44.
surprised if it's even 44. It might be a
Mm.
little bit shy of
Maybe
that,
less
but
than that.
Yeah.
this is
It's
this
a
is
great
like
ride. It does not go upside down, but there's lots of twists and turns.
this is a coming of
Right.
age roller coaster, I think, for
It
a lot
is.
of a lot
It's
of
for
kids.
the height. It's got the big, like the incline. It's got the
Yeah.
build the
And drop.
anticipation.
Really,
Yeah.
really good views of. That's one of
Oh,
my
yeah,
favorite
really
views.
does.
Just going. Yeah.
Julie wrote it for the very first time in March, and she contemplated going back single rider. That she loved it that much,
Ooh,
like by
nice.
herself,
Okay.
knowing she wouldn't be on it with me.
Nice.
She
I like
chickened
it.
out of that option, but it was a hard call for her. She loved it that
That's
much.
awesome.
Oh,
So
good.
my niece and nephew do not know they're going with us on our upcoming
Ooh, that's fun.
trip to Disney
Mhm.
World.
Yeah.
They've
Oh,
never
fun.
been at all, and so I'm super
Oh, that'll
excited
be
to take them
amazing.
on this ride. Like my nephew is just tall enough to do everything. He's 48 inches now. He can
Perfect.
Oh,
hit
good.
every single ride, except I think everything now. So we're super excited about it.
I did just look. It is 44 for Everest.
Okay.
44?
Yeah, I thought so.
Perfect.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. Next one. Dana, why don't you tell us the next one on the list?
Okay, so the next one is my favorite. I think before
Yeah, I think so.
Guardians came,
It's
it was my
everybody's
number one.
favorite.
Yeah, it's
I mean, who's-
Not my
Avatar,
wife.
Right.
My
Flights
wife
of
hates it.
Passage. Really? She doesn't
No.
like it at all?
She does not like Flight of Passage.
Who
She
doesn't?
gets sick. My wife.
Oh, okay.
yeah. I could
I
see that.
understand that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there is a screen element to it, but I think this
Mhm.
ride
Yeah.
is just so well executed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's so
and the
different than anything
screens,
else.
It is. It's very unique. The ride, the way you're sitting in the ride is unique. The screen is unique. Everything is unique about it. And I'm sensitive to screens too, but for some reason, this one doesn't affect
Doesn't
me the
mess with
same
you?
way like Star Tours and some of the other ones do. So I think it's great. I love. There are some fun things in there that I don't want to ruin for people that may not have ridden it yet, but some really cool aspects that they've added to the ride vehicle that make it extra fun and unique. So I love it all. And it's immersive too. So you're getting smells, you're getting, you know,
The
All the
flashes
senses
of
except
things.
for
Yes.
taste.
And
Yeah.
thank goodness for that.
It's very, thank goodness
Um,
for that.
And
Yeah.
we would say this would be the one must do in the entire theme
Oh,
park.
yeah.
Like if
Yeah,
you,
absolutely.
100%.
if, yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you're tall enough,
100%.
you have to
If
do
you're
this
yeah,
ride.
if
You
you're
have to
tall
ride
enough.
it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now that being said, here's the question for you. We'll decide for sure at the very end of the episode when we talk about our strategy. But is this a rope drop ride? Is this an individual lightning lane ride? What are you all doing here?
Road drop.
Individual
Oh.
lightning lane.
I
I
don't
think
like
it's
paying
both.
extra for it.
I don't either.
I-
Yeah, but it's usually not that.
Yeah.
It's not like Guardians. So it's maybe
No.
$15, $17, right? At this point.
12, I might swing if it's 12.
Okay.
But there's
Okay.
5 of
Yeah.
us. I mean, that adds up.
swap out. I would rather buy an individual lightning lane for Flight of Passage and not do Genie Plus at all in Animal
There
Now
Kingdom.
you
that's
go.
now,
That's
now
not
if you
bad.
do it that way.
That's my trade out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do both.
No, I don't think you have to do both. But that's a
Yeah.
good point.
I'll say with this
Megan, yeah.
ride, if you watch it on the app, you can definitely see. I've found it in the afternoon. It goes down to 45 minutes for a wait. I am willing to wait 45 minutes for that ride.
Yeah.
No issues.
Mhm.
Oh, 100%.
So I think if you monitor it,
Yeah.
you'll be able to
Yeah.
find
As
a decent
long
time
as
throughout
you're
the day.
not there peak season.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
when it's an 8 or 9 or a 10 in that park, like if you're there like during holidays, peak time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you need
Well-
to do something to get on this, either rope drop
And
or
that's-
pay for it.
And that's the tough thing that Disney is betting on is this one being a must-do attraction in this park. It's kind of hard to monitor it and just hope that you get on it. Like I'm never going to stand in 2-hour line for pretty much anything. But during some of those peak times, Disney's assuming, you're going to drop money to get on this ride, knowing that it is the top in this park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's just
I
kind of a
agree.
roll of the dice. It's not a bad strategy, especially in non-peak times. But
Right.
Yeah.
No, I don't
Know
think
your-
it's a
know
bad
your crowd
strategy to
levels.
hit it in the afternoon. But
Yeah.
if it goes down, that's something else you have to consider. Although I don't feel like this goes down like Rise goes down or, stuff
no,
like that.
not as
So,
much. But the queue for
'cause
this
Rise is
line,
always down.
the queue is not a bad line to wait in. Number one.
True.
So
Mhm.
45 minutes an hour would go kind of fast. And there's a lot of really cool things in the queue. So if you haven't seen the movies in a while or you've never seen them before, it is a good lead in to the story of the ride and
That's
what you'll
true.
experience
Yeah.
in the ride. So if you had to pick a line to stand in, this one would
That's
not
not
be
bad.
a
It's a cool
bad
line.
one.
And if
Yeah.
you
It's
have
also nice
people,
and cool in there too.
It's
I
very
was about
cool
to say
in
that.
there.
Once you get
Yeah.
inside,
if you
Yeah.
have people who
Yeah.
are not riding the ride with you, this is also a fantastic place to hang out for 45 minutes, an hour while you're waiting on
to
others.
explore
Yeah.
Pandora. Yeah.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Mhm.
All right, which brings us to our next one. And Corinne, tell us about what's probably a close second for me after Flight of Passage.
So Kilimanjaro Safaris is one of the main, I feel like, attractions in
Mhm.
Animal Kingdom. If you have little kids, this is a great one to go on. You have, what would you say? It's like 15 to 20 minutes
It's
long.
about 20 minutes. Yeah.
It's
about that?
20 minutes
Solid.
unless a giraffe or another
Something.
animal decides to park their rear end in the middle of the road,
Get in
and
the
then
way.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
true.
which
Yeah.
happens. You can be
Yeah.
on it
You
for 40
You
minutes. and
can't
I'm not
control what they
kidding.
do. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
And they will not
Yeah.
push they will just
No.
let
Mm-mm.
nature
there.
run its course
You
and
just sit
have
there.
them
Yeah.
walk off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
but
really
this,
kind of cool.
Yeah.
It feels
Yeah.
like
It
a real
is.
safari.
it's a great. Yeah, it really does. I think it's a great ride. It is definitely a great one. See, this would be my rope drop if I were to do that.
Mhm.
I would be going
Rope drop,
straight
but
there.
not early entry is the problem because it opens with the park,
Mhm.
not
Right.
with early entry. So that's like the caveat.
Yeah.
So if you are wanting to do an early entry ride, I think you do a flight of passage. If you're wanting to do a rope drop at park open, Kilimanjaro safaris.
This one does have Animal Kingdom has an interesting strategy going into it, depending on what
Right.
time you're planning
because
to get
not
to the
everything
park.
opens when you think it's
If
going to
you're
open.
including Genie
Mhm.
Plus, if you're doing an individual lightning lane, there's a
Mhm.
lot of different moving pieces in play at this park.
Mhm.
Can
I
we
agree.
throw a
And
nod
quick
to
insider
the
tip too.
for
Oh, go ahead.
Kilimanjaro? Yeah.
Yeah. So I always recommend to either do it in the morning or in the late evenings because if you go during the day,
Agree.
that's the heat of the day and the animals are not as active.
It's a good
So
point.
morning or evenings.
Yeah, I love that.
We are a big fan of making this one of our first attractions. The animals are very active. They're hungry. They're
Right.
They're being
There's a
fed
lot of action.
around that time.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what they do is they're dropping food in all of the troughs early in the morning, right before before those first trucks go out, and that's the best time in my opinion. You see so much first thing in the morning, or like you said, at the very end of the day when they're like, "Oh, thank God, the sun is like going down."
Yeah.
Which is really well done. All right, next up, I'll go. Sean, why don't you tell us about this one?
Yeah, Navi River Journey.
Yeah.
Actually, ride I've never been on. Even
You've
after
never
this
been on
last
Navi
trip.
River?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh,
We
Sean!
always
Not
find
missing
something
much,
else
Sean.
to
It's
do.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a good ride.
It's a very
It
short
Not
is.
hating
water
on
ride.
Navi.
I like it, but only for a short wait. I don't think I would be
Yeah.
waiting
no.
more than 30 minutes. Like even
no.
30
I said
minutes, I'd
20
go,
minutes.
"Meh, I'm
20
done."
was my thought.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
waiting
and
more
this
than
is a
20
good one.
minutes.
Say you have an early flight of passage rope drop, or not rope drop, but flight of passage individual lightning lane, like a return time. Then maybe you go hop on Navi while you're waiting. That might be a good thing. But Navi, and speaking of lines that go down in the afternoon, Navi is going to be a lot less in the afternoon than right after all the people getting off a flight of passage that just feel obligated to get on it next.
Right.
Yeah. But I like it
So-
because people of all ages can ride it. And so when you have kids that maybe don't like flights of passage, they're not quite ready for roller coasters, this is a ride that everyone can do together.
Can
And
do.
you're not
I
splitting
like
up.
it.
I do
All right,
love a good indoor boat ride where you get to sit down. I do
Well, I
love
love
that.
air
Girl, me
conditioning
too.
whenever we get
Yeah.
a chance, for sure.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and take the next one. And Sean just actually typed into our notes, and I'm excited about it because I love this ride, and it's Holly River Rapids.
No, John,
Holly
no.
River Rapids is so much fun. It's talk about
I
cooling
have-
down in the heat of summer.
I have never ridden this ride.
I
You're
haven't
not missing
really.
anything.
I've
Oh my
ridden,
gosh.
I've ridden something like it, but it was at my Six Flags.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, okay.
exactly the same
Yeah,
thing.
It
it's
is.
the same
Well,
type of thing.
It's better
but
themed, and there is a message about conservation,
yeah.
and about deforestation. There's and it's a very hot ride at one point because there's fire and there's no shade. So I feel like this is better executed in California, a California Adventure. They're like the Grizzly Run or whatever they call it there. I
Grizzly
think
River
that one,
River Run.
yeah, and that one is just, I don't know, it's like kind of going through the redwoods, vibe. I feel like that feels better. But that being said, it's cold in California, half of the day. So I feel like the weather is better in Florida for this ride.
Yeah.
And then let's wrap up with must do's with a ride that's probably closing. Megan, what is that?
Dinosaur. So they are looking to. Oh, actually, is it Dinosaur? It is Dinosaur.
It is Dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one's
must do.
Yes.
I think it's definitely a must do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's
Yes,
rumored
If you
to
love,
be
like once
torturing
in
your
your
children,
life, right?
it's a
I-
scary
but-
ride.
Which who
It
doesn't?
is a scary
that's
ride.
so funny.
It is a scary
I still
ride.
get every picture of me. I'm like this.
Love
I have
it.
pictures like for those watching on YouTube, and oh my gosh, everyone is me covering my eyes. I just
love
don't
it.
like
Here's
something screaming in my face.
Here's
in the
a
dark.
hot tip as well. Make sure you go to the bathroom before you get on this ride because
It's very.
it's
It is
herky jerky
bumpy.
all over the place.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
every time that seatbelt just tightens a little bit more, a little bit
And-
more.
So I have a story about this one. This because I love dinosaur. I'm very sad that it's going to be rethemed.
Are you serious?
Rumored.
no.
I'm very sad about it.
The other version in
So-
California is much better.
Yeah.
Go
agree
ahead.
to disagree,
Continue.
but it's
Sorry,
fine.
we're taking
So
away.
this was actually one that I rope dropped a couple of years ago, me and my friend Chelsea, and nobody was over there because
Get
everybody
out of
goes
here.
to
Not a soul.
I'm
What?
shocked. I was like, shocker.
Shocking.
But so we went right over there. Nobody was there to the point where we were allowed to ride it 3 times in a row.
Oh my god.
And all we had to do was just pull up, and they made us unbuckle, stand up, sit back down, rebuckle, and then they send us off again. And we were on it for 3
That
times.
checks
in a row.
out.
It was great.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
Love
It's
it.
a
I
fun.
love it
It's
so
a fun
much.
ride. I
Yeah.
will say this: like a lot of the animatronics are no longer functioning. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that's still, a lot of the animals are still that should be moving.
Yeah.
They're
it's sad.
definitely leaning heavily into the Disco Yeti, like lots of flashing
Yeah.
lights to make
Which we didn't
simulate
even make
movement.
mention
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Disco Yeti.
Yeah,
but
Disco Yeti's never going away. But the rumors are, and they've actually announced that they're changing it. They're bringing Indiana Jones there. The question
Mhm.
is going to be is if it's going to be a replica of the exact
California.
ride in California of Indiana
mhm.
Jones, or if they're going to
Mhm.
update it to a more modern theme, maybe change it up a little bit.
And
So-
I heard on another podcast, Mr. Len Testa, that
He's
they
usually
are
right.
they are theming it after Raiders of the Lost Ark Indy
Yeah,
and not
Okay.
That's
Temple
cool.
of Doom.
Dial of
Not Temple of Doom,
Destiny.
yeah.
Oh, the
Indy.
newer ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
Peak
okay.
Indy. They're doing
Interesting.
Indy.
Right. What we
Yeah.
grew up
Okay.
on. So
Exactly.
So it will be
So-
different then from California.
because that one's based on Temple of Doom's time, right? Something like
That's-
that, middle.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
I
right.
guess all of it. Yeah, around that time.
Yeah.
And they're also going to be converting part of the
Mhm.
themed area, which we should get confirmation 100% for sure on the details at D23 in August.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
Excited about that.
all right, let's move quickly through some hidden gems. Dana, tell us about this first one.
I love this one.
We know.
I
we know.
I
I
Go
do
have-
ahead.
too.
I skipped it for I did not go to it for so many years, and I finally went on like one of my last trips. It's been very recently. Feathered
Mhm.
Friends in Flight is
That's
a
so
bird
fun.
show, and I was blown away. I was not expecting it,
It's
and
real
now I'm
good.
like, I tell everybody about it. I'm like, go see the bird show. It's amazing, and I loved it. They fly all around you. They involve you in it, and the things that the birds do is incredible. So I 100%. I actually think this should be on one of the top lists, the must-do list, and not just hidden gem.
hidden
It needs
gem?
to be.
But
But the thing is, it is
highlighted.
hidden though.
It's a
It is
hidden
a
gem.
gem that's hidden. People don't
Like,
know
Yeah.
about it.
How
Yeah.
often
Or they
have
think
you
it's another
been
show.
and you've just done this? Same for me. We did it for the first
Yeah.
time in March.
I was like,
Yeah.
we've done.
And-
I've done everything else. Let's go do it. You
And
know.
a tip, if you have Genie Plus availability, go ahead and line it up.
I
Because
don't
you get
know.
to sit
John's
front row.
not wasting a Genie Plus on it.
No.
Have a
But
show.
what else? I'm saying there's
After
not
you
enough.
use it
in-
on everything else, then
Right.
get one for feathered.
Sure.
Because you
Sure.
can get prime seating, and Julie and Aaron actually were able to have a bird fly through their arms.
Yeah. See
because
that's
we
the
had
involvement.
good
Yeah.
seating. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
but I'd rather use it on Navi River, Kali, Expedition Everest.
Yes, but after you use it on all of
Uh,
those,
Yeah. If
then
you're looking for something,
yeah,
Okay, fair enough. Okay, I think that
you're
It's a-
right. Don't
I think the
don't
better one is-
prioritize it over one of those
Over
rides.
something.
if I
Yeah.
was
Don't-
using it on a show, I would pick Festival of the Lion King,
yes,
which is
of
one of our
course.
other
Yeah.
hidden gems, because the
Mhm.
seating that you get for Festival of the Lion King is phenomenal, and there's a
Mhm.
chance your kid will get pulled up from the first or second row to come participate at the end of the show,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and that is worth everything. It
Well,
is
and
so
plus-
amazing.
And you also don't have to
ahead.
wait 45 minutes in line
That's
waiting
it.
to get into this show.
That's
Right.
So
it.
That's
it's
true.
definitely worth using a lightning
With
lane for
Feathered
that.
Friends in Flight, you can walk up at the last minute and get a seat in like the upper areas.
Well, not after
which I
we've
understand.
included them in our podcast. Not everyone's
Right,
going to
because
be
the
going.
millions who
there.
listen
Then
to our
the
show are going to go.
The masses will be swamping in on it, so
All right,
that
so we
won't be the
talked-
case anymore.
So, well, while we're talking about Festival of the Lion King, I think this is a must-do as well.
Mhm.
But and I don't know how hidden it is, but it is on our list. It is so good. I love that show. The monkeys are back. The
Yes.
Mhm.
flying birds are back.
Mhm.
This show is so good and so fun. It's something for the entire family. I think
It's
it's,
a must see
probably
every visit.
Yeah.
It's maybe my
Same.
favorite show in all of Walt Disney World. I'll just
But
leave
I
it at
could
that.
agree with that. I agree with
Yeah.
that. That's
I don't know if
valid.
there's one that I like better.
But
Maybe
use
use Genie
Genie
Indiana
Plus
Jones
on it.
Stunt Spectacular. What's that?
Oh, that's a good
Use
one
Genie
too.
Plus because, like Megan was saying, those lines
Yeah.
to get in, people start lining up, and it is a huge space. It holds a lot of people, but people
You'll get
line
in,
up
but
45 minutes an hour before, and you can be spending that time doing something else, seeing feathered
Yeah.
friends
Right.
in flight.
I agree.
And
Y'all
then go
know,
see
y'all
And-
know what my favorite part about that show is, and besides the Tomo monkeys, those are
Yeah.
my absolute favorite. But if you're sitting there watching the show and you're just like watching, you're looking around, the animatronics, like Simba is jamming the whole time, and I love watching Simba. And they have him like nodding his head, and it's an animatronic thing, but he's dancing. It's a good old time. I just
It's a
love
great
it.
show.
Simba
is a
living
really
his
great
best
show.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love
he
it.
is. Well,
All right. Megan, will you take us on the next one that was number 2 on our list? We kind of skipped over it.
Yes. So bear with me on the pronunciation of this one, but it's the Maharaja Jungle
That's
Trek.
how I'd pronounce
Nailed
it.
it.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
This
So
is
I
great.
mean, it's a walking path, and it's wonderful.
Mhm.
It's great to look around, see the animals in
Mhm.
action. I mean, you can make it as long or as short as you want, but it's definitely, a lot of it is shaded. It's a wonderful thing to do when you're over in Animal Kingdom.
It's
And
really
this is
great
where they have.
for
Oh, go ahead.
younger kids as well, because they've got
Yeah.
little
Definitely.
sheet cards,
Yep.
so they can
Mhm.
kind of go through and spot the different animals, whether it's in the bird area or the bat area or wherever. It's really cool.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
Maharaja Jungle Trek is where they have the big cats. They have the Bengal
Yes.
tigers?
Bengal
Yeah.
tigers, yep.
They are beautiful, and you can talk to the handlers that are there. That'll tell you all the stories about the little siblings, I think, that are over there, if I remember right.
Mm.
So they're very cool. It's very,
Yeah.
very cool.
And there have been tiger cubs
Yeah.
I know.
before as well.
So
Aw.
sweet.
All right. Corinne, you
Love
want to talk
that.
about this next one?
Sure. Rafiki's Planet Watch is actually something I did for the first time a couple of years ago, and it's not as big as and involved as it used to be. They used to have like the medical hospital back there and stuff like that you could sit, and there were big windows
Watch
that you
a
could
surgery.
watch, like
Yeah.
watch procedures going on and things like that with the animals. That part's gone. Basically, what's left is they have like a little like kids petting zoo, and I shouldn't say kids because I was definitely doing all of those things
Oh,
and
of course,
seeing and the pigs and all that. So they have like some
goats.
animals there, yeah, and there's goats. But kind of the main thing that's back there now is the animation drawing class. So this from what I can remember, I think it's just here and maybe Art of Animation where they have these drawing classes on
They used to have
property.
one in Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
in
there.
Animation
I don't,
Courtyard. I don't know if
but
they
this-
still do it.
It is one of the few, but I did do this animation drawing class a couple of years ago, and I really loved it. And so they have, somebody who's sitting there with a guided drawing and things like that. But they brought out, since we were drawing Eeyore that day, they brought out 2 of their donkeys that were there, and their names were Jack and Jill. So they
Aw.
brought them inside for a little inspiration. You may not get that every time, but it was really special.
That's
So I loved it.
awesome.
That's
I
very
did it
cool.
years ago out there. It's a fun little thing.
Yeah,
I love
Epcot
it.
used to
I
have
love
that
it.
too. Used to have a drawing
Did Epcot
thing.
have one?
It's where the Star Wars kind of characters are now.
In Epcot?
No, Hollywood Studios. You're right. It's Hollywood
No,
Studios.
that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Mhm.
Animation
I
Courtyard.
don't know why I
yeah.
said Epcot. Yeah, over there. They used to, is it still there?
I don't think so. It's like tucked
know.
back where you would go now.
Very
I
tucked
think.
back.
Yeah.
Like you had to walk all
yeah.
through that whole building to
But
get
now
back there
they
to it.
have the Star Wars landing bay or whatever is back
Yes.
there.
Launch
and
bay,
then-
yeah.
Launching bay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was in a separate wing, but I just don't think they're doing it anymore, or if it ever came back after the shutdown. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
All right. I'm going to talk about this next one because no one else even thought about it. I added it to our list. So a really good friend of mine used to run production at the Finding Nemo show back in the day. And this show is, I think, very underrated because it is one of the most technical productions at all of Disney World. At least it was back before they truncated it. But from the puppetry to the stage, lighting, the production, the amount of microphones they have going at any time, the singing, all of it was just so much more involved than most of the other shows, with the exception of maybe Festival of the Lion King.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like everybody always kind of like crapped on that show and said they didn't like it. I liked it, and I love free air conditioning in the middle of the afternoon. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
So, and if you like the song Big Blue World or Big Blue World, yeah?
Big Blue World. Yeah.
Big Blue World, yeah.
So,
It's
anyway.
cute.
Any other hidden gems you guys want to talk about? It's not the best show in the whole world, but it's a nice place to get AC. And if you appreciate a good show, like production, I think it's really well done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
No, I think that's it on the
Moving
hidden
on.
gems. Jeez.
If you can't say anything nice, everybody else stays quiet. I got it. All
Mm-hmm.
right.
So let's talk food.
Yeah. Okay. So, what are the standout or sleeper restaurants?
First of all,
who
there's
wants to
not a
take the
lot
first
of
one?
restaurants in
There's
Animal
not.
Kingdom.
It's weird when you compare it to like Epcot. Like, how many more? There's like 10 times more restaurants at Epcot than there are
easily.
at Animal Kingdom.
But it's Epcot. That's
Yeah.
what
But
they're
I
known
know,
Hard to
for.
but still, they
appeal
still
at
have
that.
to feed people at
True.
at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah,
I just
true.
think some of the restaurants are bigger.
Yeah.
Like, some of the quick service are really big. But go
Mhm.
ahead, Megan, lead us off on one of them.
So Tusker House. Tusker House is the only character meal at Animal Kingdom. I think it's really well done. I think the menu is a little more eclectic than some of your other character meals. But the characters are more in their safari gear, and it's really fun. And the theming is right there.
I think the
And-
food is very good for
It is.
it's your
For a
buffet
character
style.
buffet, yeah.
But for a character breakfast, I think, or meals, I think the food is pretty decent. This
And-
would be a standout to me at Animal Kingdom.
And I will say this, Romer insider tip. I feel like you schedule a late breakfast, 10 o'clock. You can get in at 8 or 7:30 if you're,
Mhm.
doing an early entry. Get a few rides in, head over at 10, have that late breakfast, relax a little bit, get to hang out
Yep.
with Donald, and after that, head out and hit your next Genie Plus. I think it is
It's not a bad tip.
I personally don't think I am such a big rope dropper that I don't like going in, even if the restaurant is like, say you have a 7 o'clock, dining reservation, right? Which is probably the earliest one they're going to do for that. You have got to be
think-
scarfing down your food to be
Yeah.
able
I
to
think
get out
8
for early
a.m.
entry
I
at
think
7:30.
8 a.m. is their early
Yeah.
reservation time.
Is it 8 a.m. now
Yeah.
is the earliest they do? They don't even do a pre-opening anymore?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So I think you do a late breakfast here is my humble opinion.
Yeah, I think that's late breakfast or lunch is great.
Sure.
Heat of the day.
I like
High crowds.
late breakfast because it's cheaper. And
And
Yeah.
if
Can
you
be
don't
cheap for
like
character dining.
the more eclectic food options that they have at lunch and dinner, but you still want a character experience, you could do the later breakfast, and it kind of may carry you through lunch
when
until
you get
dinner.
an early dinner or snack,
Mhm.
I agree.
Yep.
All right. Who wants to take the next one? Sean, do you like this
Yak
one?
and Yeti. I do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Very good. Usually you need a reservation here.
Mhm.
I don't think you're getting in otherwise. They do have the quick service option as well as at the Yak and Yeti Lounge, I believe.
Salud.
Bless you.
Thank you.
So if you can't get a reservation, they do have a quick service option as well. This is one where you can get an alcoholic beverage with your
Mhm.
quick service meal. Yeah, Yak and Yeti is another really good option at Animal Kingdom.
It's
Also
a
a
good
note-
sit-down restaurant if
It's
you
a good
don't
sit
have
down,
the
yeah.
price
Yeah.
point of the buffet, because the Tusker House can be a little bit more expensive because it is a character dining experience. So this one has a better
Mhm.
price point, but still gives you that sit down, take a break
In a well-themed
feeling.
environment.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah. I will say with Yak and Yeti, here's another insider tip I'll follow up on this is that if you can't get a reservation, you can always do the what is the name of the restaurant group?
Oh,
That-
because it's a chain.
They have who owns that? Something Man. At
Landry?
the end.
No, it's not Landry.
Thank you. It's
Landry.
Landry's. Yes.
Landry? Okay.
It's a Landry restaurant, which means you can go and pay $20 or $25 to get like the Landry membership card.
Mhm.
With that, you get priority wait list. So
Yeah.
you go in, they put your name
Oh.
at the top of the wait list.
That's
I think they give a
hot sell.
discount too,
I
don't
know.
they? I
Yeah,
think
like
they
a
give you
10% discount or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
So it's like the Landry card, I believe is what it's called. So it's a nice little tip if you really want to get there, but there's no dining reservations available anymore. And of course, it's based on availability, but you do get priority over people who
And
just want regular
there's
walk-ups.
other restaurants in the Landry's name, so you could use it at other restaurants too.
Yeah,
And especially if
which
you're
is-
out west, I think it's where Yak and Yeti is. Isn't there one like in Colorado or something?
Another
one?
Yak and Yeti? I don't know.
Yeah, there's
They've
more than
got-
one.
They own Rainforest, T-Rex, all of
Yeah.
those. So
Mhm.
there's and a lot. I think that those all always end up on my overrated list personally. So it's called the Landry's Select Club.
There you go.
But
I had to look
also, within the last few days, they made some changes in the Disney app to where they are now posting wait times for
I saw
table service
that.
restaurants.
Yes, I
So
saw that.
I love it.
Really?
I just pulled it up. And like for Yak and Yeti right now, it does say based on your travel party size, but it says that there's a 45-minute wait
That's
for
great.
walk up for Yak and Yeti. Tiffin's has a 10-minute wait. I just
That's
was
a
looking 'cause I was
really
curious.
nice
So
update.
it is a nice update. I kind of like that they did that. So there is a chance that you can get in even without a reservation, I think.
So you're
'Cause you can
saying
also
there's
join,
a chance.
you can join the wait list from the app too. So there's a little button. If you search for the restaurant you want, there's a button that says join the, walk up.
And
wait
sometimes
list.
those are closed. The digital ones are closed
Yeah.
in the app, and you
Mhm.
can always check at the front as well.
Mhm.
So, and if you have the Landry card, then you don't have you need to go in person.
Yeah.
So because they
Super.
put you at the top. Awesome. Last one here, Dana. Tell us about our last standout. Oh, this is my favorite, probably. Well,
So
go
I've
ahead.
never actually eaten at Tiffin's,
I
which I
have.
know I've eaten at like almost all of the restaurants, but unless I'm going with adults, it doesn't make sense to take my kids there because of the menu.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I can't justify the cost. It is a more expensive dining option.
it's signature, yeah.
And it's
Yes,
2
but it does
credits,
have
right?
a ton of good food. I mean, the menu alone is just like mouth watering to read through. But
Mhm.
again, my kids wouldn't really eat their money's worth there. So it is a
Yeah.
good experience with older children or children that do like to eat different types of food, or an adult trip. It's a good option. And then
Mhm.
attached to that, they share the same
Holla.
lobby area, is Nomad Lounge, which I have been there
Love
many
Nomad
times.
Lounge.
My
That's my
Very good.
favorite.
go-to.
It is my favorite. You cannot make a reservation ahead of time, but once you get to the park that day, you can stop by there and get your name on the list, and they can add you in. I've usually waited like 30, 40 minutes. It's not usually a terribly long wait.
Yeah.
Has
And
anybody
they'll
waited
message you
longer
when
than
it's
that?
ready.
Yeah.
Sometimes the list is closed, so that's the only thing
Well,
that I've experienced there.
I've never had that.
So-
Because I do it early
that
as
was
soon as I
also-
get there. Yeah.
I feel like the time that I've done that when it was closed was during COVID, and they may have been separating people out
Oh, they don't have as many
when it was
tables.
closed. Yeah,
It's not
So
a
that
huge
might have been it.
space. Yeah.
It's not,
Yeah.
and
And
it's
more
it's got
snacky.
couches,
It's
snacky,
tapas.
Mhm.
Yes, it's tapas.
yeah,
And really good cocktails.
charcuterie,
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
cheeses, like cheese board, stuff like
the
that.
cheese board is delicious.
I'm trying to
We
remember
did
if
have
it's
a good
what we
old
had
fashioned
there
there,
or
Dana,
not.
last
We
visit.
did have a
Yeah.
good old fashioned
Ooh.
there.
Old fashioned alert.
Dana,
Hello.
Megan, and myself went there in
Yes.
November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, must have been nice.
Yeah. I don't
Uh,
have to talk about that
sorry,
trip
guys.
anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Cool.
I'll
Cool.
bring it up as many times as possible.
Yeah, we know you will. All right.
Oh my gosh.
On that, we'll come back to Nomad for sure when we hit our top snacks. Okay. I only think there's not that many restaurants to say are overrated at this park, but there's one that is 100%
It's so
overrated
overrated.
It's overrated everywhere.
everywhere, but
Yeah.
it is the Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if your heart is set on Rainforest Cafe, go to this location over the one at Disney Springs because you can get in a lot easier. It's always half empty.
I mean,
But
if it's a restaurant that you can go to not at Disney, maybe
you can go to this at your local mall. Don't waste
Yeah.
your time.
come on, guys.
Jeez.
I've
I
also
mean,
heard
be better.
because I haven't dined at
better.
a rainforest in Disney ever.
Good for
Oh,
you.
I have a
I
lot.
have.
I
I
have
used to
heard.
live in Central Florida, so I've eaten there plenty.
Well, I think rainforest is a really long experience too, like a long dining
You
experience.
could make it
It can
long.
be.
Yeah.
That from what I've heard from the
Slow
rainforest
service is the right way to
at-
put it.
That's what I mean. Yes, is that the
Yes.
service was very slow.
It's not
so
an elaborate service. It's just a slow
it's
service.
just slow service.
Yeah.
Yes. Historically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Time is money while at Disney.
Yes.
Yeah. And I will say
100%.
this, it's cool. There's cool animatronics like of animals and stuff, but like the food is not great. It's like
On the
Applebee's food.
rides too. I would
That's
rather
it.
be on a
Yeah.
ride.
But if you
watching them
have
try-
a kid who doesn't like to ride a lot of stuff but loves animals, this would be really cool to go in and see this while you're eating. So I think it's a one time, every kid needs to experience it one
If
time.
you want a very rainforest themed Applebe's, this is your spot. And pay
And
3
real
times what
priced
you're paying for
food.
Applebee's.
You
You're paying
should
3
never
times.
you should never choose Rainforest Cafe over Tusker House.
No.
Even based
Never.
on what
Yeah.
Or
No.
Yak
you
and
said.
Yeti. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Flame Tree Barbecue. Come on, there's much better food at Animal
Yes,
Kingdom.
but if you're
Yeah.
going
All
for
right.
a kid's experience, kids really like this restaurant for the
Dana
animals.
Dana is so positive.
All right.
Yeah.
Best
job,
quick
Dana.
service restaurants, guys. So moving on to best. So I just threw out Flame Tree Barbecue. You guys like Flame Tree
I
Barbecue?
love Flame Tree
Mhm.
Barbecue.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I love it for
That-
the seating too. Lots
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
I was
seating
about to
areas.
say, speaking of lots of places to sit, there's no shortage, and you can go and sit all the way down on the waterfront area behind it. It's just a
Mhm.
massive sprawling like seating
Mhm.
area. But it seems like they can really handle high capacity
Yeah,
there. Like they move through people.
Mhm.
and you can
Anyway.
mobile order as well,
Yeah.
which I like.
Of course.
Ooh, hot tip on any option to mobile order.
Oh yeah,
Any
It should
quick
come up-
service.
That should come up in every single theme park guide that we do, like mobile
Quick
order.
service.
yeah.
Mobile
Quick
order.
service,
No reason to
yeah.
stand in
Well,
line
now
again.
it's difficult not
No.
to mobile
Yeah.
order at some
Mhm.
restaurants.
Yeah, they kind of
You're steering people
make you stand
that
out
way.
there and
Yeah.
like wait.
All right. I have an Epcot hot tip. If you want to get barbecue at Epcot at the Regal
Eagle.
Is that what it's Regal
Mhm.
Eagle
Regal Eagle
barbecue?
Smokehouse, yeah, or
Don't
whatever.
order it in the app because it's going to be a 45-minute wait in the app. Go in and say, I don't have a phone that works for mobile order. And you just go in the side and there's like 6 people in line and then you get served
Stop.
immediately. I'm serious.
They're looking at you like you don't
100%.
have a phone that
Oh,
works.
well, my kid drained my phone battery.
There
They'll-
you go.
they'll
There
That's
you go.
believable.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
Right?
go buy a $30 fuel rod. There's a fuel rod kiosk
Kiss
right
my
there.
butt. I have one in my hand right here. Not even
I
kidding.
love
my
it
fuel
too.
rod.
I do
love
too.
my fuel rod.
I do too.
All right.
So
Oh.
Yak and Yeti quick service is on the list again. I don't think we need to belabor that. It's a good
Right.
quick service
it's
option
good.
if
It's
you
like
don't.
Asian. It's good. You
Yeah.
get some like, Chinese
Tempura.
food style stuff. Yeah. Solid.
All right, John.
Next
The
one.
next one is go ahead, John. It's
Johnny
so
my
good.
loves
absolute
this one.
favorite quick service.
Same.
Maybe in all of Walt Disney World
I
is
would
Satu'li
actually agree with you.
Canteen.
I agree with you. It's
Yeah,
delicious.
it's so good.
Yeah.
And it's like these bowls. It's like rice bowls essentially,
Mhm,
and then they
mhm.
have like little dumplings that are full of meat that are
those
like
are so
little like burger dumplings or different dumplings. My kids
Love
love
it.
to eat here.
Mhm.
You can get different meats in your bowls, and the flavor is so good. It's got
Have
like
we
an Asian
said what it is?
inspiration. Oh,
Have we
Satu'li
mentioned it?
Canteen. I said it.
Okay, it's in the Pandora area.
Yeah.
It is in Pandora, near
Mhm.
the Flight of Passage, Avatar.
Mhm.
What do you think about it, everybody else? Am I
I love
overselling it?
Delicious.
No.
Oh,
it's
no.
the
No,
best.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially
I
if
mean,
you're trying to get a healthy option too. I feel like it's the Flame Tree, the chicken there, and then the canteen, like the bowls. I
mhm.
mean, if you're looking for a healthy option, if you've been eating like theme park food for multiple days, this is
Disney
a
food.
nice break from that.
I agree.
Yep.
True.
All right. Top snacks. All of my top snacks I could think about at this park were drinks.
I added
Which
a
probably is
non-drink
terrible.
on there.
You did. You had 3 of our 4 here are. I'll do the first one, then I'll let you guys do the rest of these. But so this is kind of a fun tip because in Asia, in Animal Kingdom, if you're just outside of Everest,
Mhm.
there's a little place called Thirsty River. It's just like a little like hut essentially, and they have margaritas and they have this Yeti Sunset drink. The Yeti Sunset is like, I think it's just Jack Daniels or another bourbon with like different I forget the stuff that's mixed in with it, but it is a very refreshing, like delicious whiskey mixed drink. But the hot tip is send one parent to the little ice cream truck that's next door, one
Mhm.
parent that goes over to the Thirsty River, and kids get their ice cream, parents
Yeah.
get their grown-up drink, and
And
then
that
you
soft-
chill.
The
Everyone's
soft
happy.
serve ice cream
Everybody's
there
happy.
is very good as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a win-win for everybody there. So anyway,
Mix your
that's my
booze
top
with
snack.
your soft serve, you're good.
Ooh, just take your ice cream and put it
Like a
into the Yeti
float?
sunset.
Yeah, why not?
Ooh, Sean.
Right?
That's
Why
a good
not?
idea. All right, who wants to
Should
take the
patent
next
that.
one?
Uh-huh.
Who
you
added
wanna
that?
cover
What's
the-
the next one?
I added
don't
that next
know.
one too. I love the getting drinks
Have
at
at it,
Nomad
Sean.
Lounge.
It's very
Tempting
good. Yeah.
Tigress is a bourbon drink. It's real good. You can see a theme here with me, but go ahead, guys.
So there's another one I did not put on the list. I don't know if they still have it anymore. It's similar to the Cheshire Cattail in Magic Kingdom, which we
Mhm.
didn't add
Ooh.
on the list. I realized that after the
Yeah,
fact.
I've had a I've had a stale one before that was like terrible.
Oh, I have
That's
not.
why I never
Well,
bring
they
it
have
up
the
anymore.
tiger tail at Animal
Ooh,
Kingdom. They used to have a
yeah.
tiger tail. I don't know. I haven't seen it because I haven't been looking for it because I usually get the Cheshire. But it's just like the Cheshire cat tail, except the icing, instead of it being like pink and purpley, it's like
Mhm.
orange and brown, like a tiger tail. But it's the same snack, but it's just called a
Okay.
tiger tail.
I like
I think it
that.
was over in Dino Land near the where the kids can dig in the little dig zone area. That was where
The
I
dig
saw it the
site.
last
Dig
time
site
I was
is
there.
it's such a cool little area for kids.
The dig
I
site?
Yeah.
love that.
You're-
hmm
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, that's a good
Sorry,
snack
off
too.
topic.
I did not put that
Well,
on there.
that's where you
Sorry.
used to get McDonald's French fries over there. What is that place called? Something Dino something.
Dino snack.
What's the
Shack.
name of the
I
place
don't
where they
know.
have French fries now? Back over there by the dig site.
Restaurantosaurus?
Restaurantosaurus. They used to have
yeah,
McDonald's
yeah.
French fries back in the day.
Oh yeah.
McDonald's used to be a sponsor for
Yep.
Yeah.
part of that.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Moving
All
on.
right.
Yes, please.
Has anyone
So
had the
move
I will
next one?
go.
Have you had that one, Megan?
That's the one over at Pongu Pongu, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So I did order it on my last one. I think Dana, you had told me you really liked it. Was it you?
Yes. It's
I
delicious.
didn't like it.
Megan.
No, I
Megan,
didn't.
no.
It was.
Didn't
It
like
had a
which one?
weird texture. The
isn't that like
Pongu
the bubble one?
lumpia.
The lumpia thing, yeah.
Lumpia.
The Pongo Lumpia?
It was lumpy. It was gross.
Yeah.
No, that's like a it's like a
It's like
a
an egg
doughy thing,
cream
right? It's like a
cheese.
doughy with like cream.
Oh.
Yeah, like it's
It's
stuffed with
cream
stuff.
cheese with
Mm.
pineapple, and it's rolled
like
like
in a
in
dough.
like in a paper, yeah, like
Yeah.
like an egg roll type thing.
Yes, there it is. There it is.
It's warm, so the cream
Mhm.
cheese is kind of melty. Oh, so good.
yeah,
It was a one and done for me.
It's every
All
trip
right.
for me.
yeah.
Ugh.
All right,
And
I'm
every
gonna-
trip. Wow.
Okay, I'm
Every
gonna ask Sean
trip.
to talk about the last one here, but I'm gonna need him to move closer to his microphone because he's
Oh,
ignoring
yeah.
my request in
Sorry.
chat.
Oh, there it is. There's 3 chats directed to me. Whoops. What, the night blossom?
Whoa. Yeah. Have you had the night blossom or the
I
rum
haven't.
blossom?
You never had it?
See,
I
that
haven't.
is at every trip for me. I will
it's so
absolutely
good.
not
Where's
leave
this
Animal
at?
Kingdom without it.
The
Where's
same
You
this
just asked
place
the
you
wrong
get
people to talk about these
Pongu
things.
know.
The night
So
Which
it's
one
also
do you
a
like,
Pongu Pongu.
Megan? Which
the
one do you
drink
get?
stand in Pandora.
I mean, if
yeah.
it's early in the morning, I'll get the one without the rum, but there is a rum blossom as well. So I forget the flavors exactly, but it's pink and it's green, and then they put the little
Popping
the boba
boba.
tea
The
things in it.
boba
Thank you.
bubbles.
the
Yeah.
boba balls
Ugh.
on top, and that's like
Bobo.
Boba.
it's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said bobo.
But it's-
You said
But it's-
bobo.
It's the fruit flavored popping boba, not the tapioca boba. So
Yeah,
it's,
Right.
that's
it's
fair. That's
fruity.
an important
I think it's
differentiation
passion
there.
fruit ones on top, and they're delicious.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. They're like pink. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
So
those
good.
boba. I do not like it when it's a creamy boba.
The tapioca
Mm.
ones.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh, I like
It's not
them
my
all.
favorite. All right, so let's go through a couple quick tips. We already talked about Nomad Lounge. Boom, it is a great spot to get snacks. If you want to do, say you did a big lunch at either Flame Tree or at Tuscarora House or something like that, get yourself a nice, chill out at the end of the day
Yeah.
at Nomad Lounge. Get some drinks.
Heat
get
of the
some,
day.
some tapas.
If you can plan ahead and get a reservation at Nomad Lounge when it's hot, it is a good little
It's a great
chill
spot too.
chill
yeah.
place.
Mhm.
I love
Yeah.
Nomad Lounge. I will sing their praises forever, and the people are
Yeah.
so nice. So
They are.
And
All right, next up.
allergy-friendly tip: they are the only place that have gluten-free churros.
okay,
Oh,
Nice.
that is a hot tip.
that is a
Gluten-free
really
churros
good
Yeah.
at
tip.
Nomad
a
Lounge.
hot
love
cinnamon
that.
tip, right?
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. All right, next up, single rider line for Everest. This
Yep.
is like
Mhm.
We made mention of
Yeah.
that. This is how many single rider lines are there in all the parks? We've got
There's 3.
Aerosmith. We've got
Test
this and test
Yeah.
track. So
Yeah. And this is a
So
great,
the fact-
great
the
use of
the
it.
fact that there's only 3 in all of Walt Disney World, like just don't forget that there
Right.
are rides that
yeah,
have it, and Everest is one of them.
you're talking about
Yeah.
a 5 to 10 minute line most times
Mhm.
for this ride if you're going
Not with
single.
test track, we've been really slowed down in there.
Well,
We're
this
rock and
track
rolling,
is
in particular.
yeah.
but Everest, I think,
This
moves
one is a
fairly
quick
quickly.
moving single rider. I
Even
feel like they do a
during-
really good job.
Even during spring break this year, we could have hopped on that thing real
Mhm.
fast.
And I'll say this about single rider on this. This is great because for the longest time, my kids did not want to go on this ride. So
Mhm.
we
yeah.
would just take turns, you know,
Yeah.
everybody else would go hang out, take a break or go see something else around the area, go get that ice cream cone.
Does
and then
Matthew do
parents
this one
switch
yet,
out.
John?
He's not yet, but he's going to on the next trip.
Yeah,
He told me.
Yeah, he is.
He
Nice.
wants you to, so. All right, very cool. All right, we've already talked about Kilimanjaro Safari, about getting there early. Let's talk about, lastly, on our insider tips. This park is super unique because it has some very cool behind-the-scenes tours.
Mm-hmm.
And so who wants to talk about that first?
Dana.
Dana,
Get
pick
it.
one.
Okay, so I will speak to the Wild Africa Trek because my mother-in-law
Please.
has done that. There is a age or a height requirement on there. It's intense. I mean, it's an involved experience, and these experiences last a pretty significant amount of time. So if you are planning your day, you want to keep that in mind if you're planning one of these tours. But if you're looking for like a quick tour that you just want to spend a few minutes on, I think it's 45 minutes, is the Caring for Giants, which is an elephant focused tour. And it's better for younger kids because they can't really do some of the Wild Africa Trek because you're kind of going across these bridges where you have to walk above the animals. So this
Right.
is something that more ages can do. But they have a lot of different experiences that you can add on to your day. But the Caring for Giants, the Wild Africa Trek, and Savor the Savannah and Up Close with Rhinos are probably the most popular ones, wouldn't you
Yeah.
guys say? Out of all of them,
Definitely.
Yeah,
And
for
Savor
sure.
the-
Up close and
Savor
caring
the
for
s-
giants are super
Yeah.
common because they're relatively inexpensive compared to some of the other ones.
right?
And Savor the Savannah is the one, if you're doing the Savannah tour, when you see people way out in the distance
They're
hanging
like
out,
eating, like
eating.
drinking out on a.
that's this.
That's
Yeah.
so cool because they take you out in like
Yeah.
a different, smaller truck out to this
Mhm.
area where you go eat and
Mhm.
stuff. It's cool.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool.
All right, so
fun
now
to mix it up.
So we've gone through ad nauseum about Animal Kingdom. It's obvious we love this park. We think it can definitely be a full day park.
Mhm.
But let's talk about our strategy. And normally we do one strategy. I would like to do 2 separate 1-minute strategies. The
Mhm.
first one is going to be with Genie Plus. The second one is without.
John,
Are we
that's
ready?
good thinking. That's good
Okay,
thinking.
which one are we starting with?
Yeah. Okay, let's do our 1-minute strategy. Okay, is everybody ready before we get this? Here we go. Our 1-minute strategy
go.
with Genie Plus
Okay.
and go. All right. What are we doing with Genie Plus? Are we going to do an individual lightning lane?
No.
I
No.
probably still would.
Okay.
Just to get it done.
So what would you do, Sean?
Dana
Quick.
and I are going to rope drop.
Yeah, rope drop.
Yeah.
Crane's rope
Avatar,
dropping.
Flight of Passage.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
gonna,
If we're doing
ILL.
Genie Plus, I'm rope dropping Flight
Flight
of
Passage.
Passage. What is
Mhm.
our very first Genie Plus lightning lane?
Safari.
Safaris.
Safari.
Safari.
Yeah, Kilimanjaro Safari. Very good. All
Dinosaur,
right.
right, Corinne?
What? Oh my
Man,
gosh.
you don't
Corinne.
even have to Genie Plus that. You just get right in line, rope drop it.
All right, next up, what are we gonna have? What are we eating? Either breakfast or lunch.
Tusker House.
Tusker House.
Let's go to Tusk.
Tusk House breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Or
Okay.
lunch, either
Late
way.
breakfast.
What is? There we go. What is our snack?
Night
I'm going to
Blossom.
get some
Ooh.
pineapple lumpias.
Okay, I'm getting myself a drink somewhere.
I'm
Yeah.
going to
Just
get the
make
rum
coffee.
blossom with
All
the
right,
boba
dinner?
on it.
Dinner, Nomad Lounge.
Tiffany's
Yeah.
and Nomad Lounge.
100%.
Nomad
Yeah.
Lounge. Okay,
Mm.
very cool. And last but not least, are we doing any sort of tour? Skipping the tours? I'd say maybe
Skipping
Caring for
tours.
Giants if you've never done it.
I'd
All
like
right,
to
that's
spend
good.
more time in Nomad.
Okay, I like it. All right, now we're going to do our 1-minute Animal Kingdom without using
Mhm.
Genie Plus. Are we
Okay.
ready?
Mm-hmm.
Set? All right, what are we going to individual lightning lane?
Flight of
What-
Passage.
Flight of Passage. Okay. Then
Obviously.
what are we rope dropping?
Safari.
Safari.
Okay. Excellent. And then after safari, what are we doing?
We're going to have to go to Everest, depending on when our individual lightning lane is.
Mhm.
Excellent. All right. What are we going to have for lunch?
Flame
Or
tree. I want
meals.
that chicken.
Flame tree?
Yeah, let's do
We're just
flame
changing
tree.
it up.
We're saving
Flame
money. We're
tree.
not spending money on Genie Plus. We're not going to go.
Yes.
You guys,
We're
you
going
guys-
frugal.
okay.
We're going
All
frugal.
right, you
This
guys
is
time.
go to Flame Tree. I'm doing Satu'li Canteen suckers.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Oh, the canteen.
not
Yes.
bad.
I changed
Yeah.
my mind.
That's
Okay.
not bad.
All right, what is our go-to snack here?
I think you could go to Nomad for a snack, like an afternoon
could do that.
tapas, pre-dinner
What's our dinner?
cocktail. Yak and Yeti.
Rain tree. No, Yak and
Ooh.
Yeti,
That's a
right.
good one.
Yak
Yeah,
and
let's do
Yeti.
Yak
I
and
like
Yeti.
it.
Not rain tree.
All right, and then anything else we're
Or
hitting before the park
rainforest, sorry.
closes?
Yes, you need to go
Anything-
hit Everest in the dark, because if you're doing Yak and Yeti for dinner, then you could ride Everest
Ooh.
as the sun's setting.
Boom.
Throw up all the food you just ate.
And then we're gonna single rider Everest again.
Again.
I like it.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my
And then we'll
goodness.
hit Dinosaur on the way out.
Excellent. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode with that strategy and Megan mysteriously disappearing off the
Poor
YouTube.
Megan.
video. She just disappeared. I hope she's okay. We'll have to check in with her.
She did not like any of y'all's strategy.
No,
Maybe
she's
horrible.
out.
maybe she was raptured. All right. There you go.
She said her computer died. It's time to get a Mac, Megan.
Oh
here
my
first.
gosh. She did not say it's time to get a Mac.
I
Oh
said
my
that.
gosh. All right. Well, on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of the Where We Roam podcast. We really appreciate you hanging out with us for, what is that? The last 50 minutes. Oh my gosh.
Too
Oh my
long.
gosh. I know, right?
Sorry,
Thank
y'all.
you so much. We're sorry it was such a long episode. That being said, if you enjoyed it, we would really appreciate a like and subscribe or a 5-star review wherever you find your podcast. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, we really appreciate a like and subscribe. That'll help us grow that medium as well. And if you would like to give us feedback about our advice on Animal Kingdom or tell us your advice on Animal Kingdom, we would love to hear it. And to do so, you can do a search for the Where We Roam podcast on Facebook and connect with us there. Thank you so much for chilling with us, and we will talk to you real soon.